Test. Hello. Can you?
Test. Test one.
هي دي أحسن. Oops.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. May I have your attention, please? The session is going to begin in few seconds. Thank you and welcome.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Our honored guests, respected teachers, our dear grade 9 and 12 students. I would like to welcome everybody today to the closing session of our Career Awareness Week. This marks the 5th year in Bahrain Bayan School. We are doing this Career Awareness Week to bridge the gap basically between your academic life and where you will be in the future, inshallah, with your professional life. Today we have a very special guest with us today. I'm very excited to introduce her. She comes with a wealth of experience of around 20 years in investment banking and investment advisory. She comes with this wealth of experience today to share with us, and she herself is a Bayan graduate. So she is sharing from the bottom of her heart her experience with all of us to help us steer our future. Allow me to introduce Ms. Misha'al Fayrouz, who has experience of almost 20 years in investment advisory, and welcome her with us for this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I'm excited, nervous, and honored to be here. And I look forward to your creative questions after the session.
Very nice. Would you like, please, to start by shedding some light on your background, both professionally and personally? Where do you come from, and a summary of your roles today?
Sure. So my name is Misha'al Isa Fayrouz. I graduated from the Bahrain Bayan School in 1999. It's been 24 years since I've been back. So it was an emotional journey walking to the Bayan Hall. I started my career in 2003 after graduating from Chelsea College of Art and Design as an interior designer. So I got hired in a property consultancy company in London, initially as an interior designer, but I hardly practiced interior design. The fact that I was Bahraini and spoke Arabic, they chose me to go on their business trips to the overseas just in case investors did not speak Arabic. Thankfully, I did not have to translate because my Arabic wasn't that great to start with. And I was lucky enough to be sitting in a room with 100 years of combined experience for 2 years, just learning from experiences. In 2005, I got a call from my father telling me it's time to come back. The industry is booming, the region is booming, there was a lot of liquidity in the market, and it's the right time to come back. Obviously, being a student, being used to living in the UK, I was resisting. I was trying to find every excuse to remain in London, but obviously I failed. So when I came back, it was again challenging to find a career in, in interior design. So I joined a company called Century 21, which is a real estate company, as a real estate professional. Again, lucky enough, I was sent to Florida to get some certificates in the real estate and gain some experience within that sector. After working there for 2 years, I got headhunted by an investment bank. So if you've noticed, I've graduated interior design and then worked in a property consultancy and then worked in a real estate brokerage company. And now I'm moving to an investment bank. So the change of career for me was, I would say, challenging at a personal level. But again, I took it in a positive approach where I was literally getting paid to learn. Rather than me paying a university to teach me, now I was getting paid to learn. So that itself was something that I looked at in a positive way. In 2014, I decided to set up JEO, which is an investment advisory firm based out of Bahrain. The company started for the first 4 years with just myself being there, so it was a complete one-woman show. Year 5 is where I decided to bring in more people to help me out. The team has grown now to 18 people. The company started with $50,000, and today our valuation is over $10 million just in 7 years. So.
Thank you, Mashal. This is quite impressive, mashallah.
Thank you.
And Mashal, you being one of the stars of the TV show Biban, which looks at startup companies and such ventures. Today we're hearing a lot about at a local level and also at a regional and international level about startups and companies. What do you think are the key success factors for such establishments to continue being a going concern or continue their success in the markets?
So there's a lot of factors and elements any investor will look at, whether it's a startup or an accomplished company. First of all, the founders are key. It's important to invest in a company that have strong founders and understand what their concept is and what sort of opportunity they want to have a value proposition on. Leadership is very important. So strong leadership shows how strong and I'd say rigid the startup is. A clear vision and mission. So you always have to have a clear vision and mission on where you're heading and why you're heading there. Market research. So there's no point of you starting an opportunity or a startup if you don't have some market research, some data that backs what you're saying. It's important to understand your competitive analysis. It's important to understand how you're going to penetrate the market, how much money you're going to do, whether that cash flows coming in will be sustainable to continue your business, so continuity as well. Adaptability, customer focus, and networking. And these are things that are extremely important for the grade 12 students who are embarking on a new journey to universities, whether it's in Bahrain or outside Bahrain. Networking is key. A lot of the investors that invested with me today are my peers that used to study with me in university. And not necessarily in the exact university I was in, but in the universities around the UK where the social and the networking part or element really helped me out. Actually, I would like to ask one question. Is there anyone here from the Student Council? Yeah? Do you mind standing up, please? Can you introduce yourselves and what position you have at the Student Council? You're the president. I was the president of Student Council in '99 as well in Bayan. So Hamid and the lady over there? What?
I'm a representative for grade 9.
What's your name?
Sabah.
Nice to meet you. So Hamid, as president, can you please tell me what are the factors that you look at as a president and how do you manage your team?
So I'd say everything stays calm between us and we all have a chance to represent what we like in our council, and to be fair with everything, you know.
Okay, are there any fundraising events that you've done?
No, still not yet. We're doing one for Ramadan.
Any events?
Yeah, we did a couple of events
Okay, so when you do an event, what are the things that you look at?
to make sure like everybody stays safe and everybody enjoys their time in the school.
Okay, and in terms of budget, the school gives you a budget to work around?
You know, our council makes their own budget and we manage it together, you know.
Okay. So there's another lady standing there. Sorry, I didn't see you.
I'm Dawn Amin, and I'm a grade 12 representative.
Okay. So I guess having 3 people from the student council here, by the way, student council is like a mini company because you have a president, you have a secretary, you have a treasurer, then you have representatives from different grades. So you guys actually do a lot of brainstorming. You guys do a lot of networking. You guys have to take it to another level to reach your goals. So once you embark to that journey, imagine you are still in a council trying to achieve the goals that you're looking at. So just to put it in perception to where you are today and where you're going to be in future.
Thank you. This is very nice, the sense of direction we're getting from Masha'al today, that you guys are heading somewhere very nice. But for our students, Masha'al, we're looking at you as, mashallah, a successful leader اليوم in terms of business and entrepreneurship in Bahrain and regionally as well. So what do you think are the success factors for someone to become successful in business and in investment and so forth? And what role did competition play in this?
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'd go back to the few of the points that I said earlier. So for a successful leader, you need to have leadership skills. It's important to know how to deal with your people, with your peers. It's important to understand the competition and how to have value proposition in order to compete in a healthy environment. Innovation, adaptability is extremely important. So you need to be able to pivot when something comes along your way. If you continue on what you're doing without exploring your competition, then they can eat you up in a second. So there are a lot of skills that we can go through, but some of the main skills that I have mentioned are, I'd say, the pillars of leadership and competition. Now, in terms of competition, obviously I don't want to scare you guys, but competition is fierce. So for you to be able to compete, you need to have the confidence as well. You need to have the background. And the only way you're going to have that is by experience. You go out in the field, meet people, experience people. Do not designate people to do it for you. Do it yourself. And I think one of the success elements that helped me in establishing my company is because for the first 4 years, I had no one in the office to help me. I used to do everything on my own. And for me, that's one of the elements that helped me succeed.
Thank you very much. Masha'al, I know, mashallah, your career so far has been full of milestones as you grow. But what do you feel is the most satisfying accomplishment that you've had so far in your career that stays with you?
Setting up my own company was definitely an accomplishment for me. Working in investment institutions that were, $300-400 million in capital, I never thought of being in a position where I can set up my own company and be my own boss. But then in 2014, I decided that my personal interests and ethics did not align with the industry. And for me to do something about it, I had to set up a company and set a benchmark. And alhamdulillah, that was something that was possible. It was extremely difficult, but not impossible.
So in a nutshell, now we know there are a lot of attributes and characteristics we require to be successful both on a personal and a professional level. But if you had to choose that one skill or attribute that defines or sets you for success, what will that skill be or attribute?
It's definitely negotiation. So negotiation is an art. For you to be able to negotiate on any level, you need experience. So from the minute you enter a nursery all the way till you start your career, you're negotiating. I'm sure you guys are negotiating with your teachers, with your peers, with your dean of students. I'm pretty sure half of you were in detention and you were trying to get out of it. So these are all negotiation skills. And the only way you're going to master it is by experience. So to me, myself, negotiation is the skill that I learned. It took me 20 years, and I continue to learn more skills out every day, being in the market. And that only happens by meeting people and hearing people.
So we require to be subject to different sets of people and negotiate with a lot. We have a number of our students who would like to pursue studies and professions in business and entrepreneurship. So do you have any tips for these students who want to pursue this academically and later professionally?
Sure. So first of all, I've written a quote here from Judge Judy. I tried my best to get a quote that would be interesting. So Judge Judy said, "The greatest gift that you can give yourself is to find something that you're naturally adept at and figure out a way to make a living at it. Because if you do that, every day will be a play day. You're never battling upstream. You love what you do, and if you love what you do, why would you want to stop doing it? So love what you do. And the more you have passion in what you're doing, the more you're going to perfect it." So this was just a quote that I wanted to share with the fellow students. But to go more technical, I think apart from passion, you need to stay focused. Focus on the goals that you have set for yourself. Network, I'm telling you, network is crucial. No matter what sector you're choosing, what major you're choosing, network is extremely important. Be proactive. Proactive means you know what's going around you, and you know how to deal with it, you know how to act. Learn from your failures, okay? Because it's part of life, and it's part of your learning experience. The only way you're going to actually remember something is by failing in it. And then keep learning and stay passionate with what you're doing, because, again, remember, anything that you have passion for, it becomes a play, it becomes a game, it becomes something that becomes fun. It's not like you're asked to do an exam of chemistry or physics. No, you're doing something that you love. I'm sure that there are some subjects that when you go to class, you're excited about, and others you're like, not again. So it's the same thing when you go to university. Try to stay focused and be passionate with what you're doing.
Inshallah, in the next 4, 5, or say 6 years down the line, our students will be entering the job market. So what are the kind of skills or experience that you are looking for in the market? Say, for example, you are recruiting for a JEO. What are you looking for? Or if there are any specific, let's say, university majors or specific skill set experience that you are looking for, maybe they're rare in the market or you would like to see more of?
So coming from the background of interior design and then pursuing my MBA at a later stage, probably something I shouldn't be saying for 12th graders at the moment, but you decided to bring someone that's extremely blunt. So let me tell you guys one thing. First of all, it doesn't matter what major you study. End of the day, it's what's in here. Everything you've studied so far from K-12 is basically theories. You'll go to university, you'll put some of these theories into practice, but then you'll also learn more theories. The school prepares you for university. The university prepares you for your career. But then if you are unable to logically put the theories into practice, then it becomes useless. I've seen a lot of A students that graduated from school and universities that are incapable of logically solving problems. So my advice to you based on my first-hand experience is expose yourselves as much as you can to the world. Take internships, work. It doesn't matter where you work. When I was an interior design student, I worked in a consultancy company. I had no idea what was going on. But the fact that I had to wake up at 7 a.m., go to work, be around professional people, I did not appreciate it at that point of time, but I extremely appreciate it today. So in terms of major, it doesn't really matter to me in JEO what the background is. It depends obviously on the department. But for me, the soft skills are more important than university majors, with all honesty. But that does not mean every other company does the same. That's just my way of hiring.
Very nicely put together, and I completely agree with you. I think if discipline is there and a certain set of soft skills are there, you can do anything. Now, a key word that is buzzing everywhere is innovation. And we've seen innovation in education firsthand, we've seen innovation in the workplace, but talking about the bigger picture and the job market, how do you treat like innovation in your company? Are there any specific processes for brainstorming new ideas, and how to incorporate this kind of innovation from your employees into your company?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
So the way we do it internally is I've tried my best to create a culture that rewards innovation, and that's only possible by doing if you have a healthy culture. So you incentivize people for coming up with good ideas. Brainstorming sessions are extremely important because being at a leadership level doesn't mean you know everything. It also means that there's other people around you that are exposed to the market that have ideas that could be implemented. So rewarding innovation should be a culture embedded within the companies to help monetize on that.
Absolutely. Now, I know we all have our fears, and I don't know how comfortable are you to share with us what is your greatest fear and how do you manage it?
Okay, so I have a lot of fears. I'm scared of heights. I'm claustrophobic, and these only came at a later stage because at a younger age I was fearless. But my greatest fear today is actually to be fearless. So not fearing anything is not too good. We humans are extremely strong, and we're strong in a sense that it could be scary at some times. Now, to me, fear helps us grow, and with fear you develop growth and a mindset that becomes that makes a person put things into action as well. And without fear, you have no success. So for me, being fearless is my biggest fear, and being fearful is a success. I'm scared of spiders too.
That's very, very nicely said. I would like to leave the floor for our students. If you have any question to Ms. Mashal, please go ahead.
Abenda?
I would like to ask,
Ahead, please.
good
Go
morning.
ahead.
I'd like to ask what is
Can you
your-
introduce yourself, please?
Sure.
And which grade?
My name is Rashid Majid, and I am in the 9th grade. And I wanted to ask you what's an example of a network that you have been talking about, and why is it so crucial to building a successful career.
What was the question? Oh, the meaning of networking? That was your question? Okay. So, first of all, networking is in our religion. So, Salat al-Raham is something that's very important, right? When you go visit your grandmother, when you go visit your aunts, your uncles, your family, that's Salat Raham. And when you sit with them, you learn a lot. They tell you some old stories, you hear some old stories, business, family related, whatever it is, correct? So do you learn from that process?
I learn a lot from that process, yes.
Sorry?
I learn a lot.
You learn a lot from that process. So consider that a mini networking session where when you go, leave your house, visit your family, you're actually socializing and networking. Now, for you to take it on a different scale, I would say at a friendship scale, when you're going out, playing football at one of the clubs, you meet other people that are outside your network. Outside the school network, outside the family network. They're in other schools, they could be in government schools, they could be in other private schools. So therefore, you're again networking with a different set of, I would say, professionals. Everyone to me is a professional at a level. Everyone that's sitting here is a professional. So you're again exposed to a different mindset. And socially, you learn things, and you're still networking. Now, when you go to university, networking is, again, crucial. You need to join clubs, whether they're football clubs, art clubs, drama clubs, depends on your interest. There's a lot of ways where you can network. Don't stick to the same people in university. Expose yourself to culture, expose yourself to religion, expose yourself to different backgrounds. Don't stick, okay, maybe I shouldn't be saying that, but don't stick to all the Arabs and the Bahrainis, okay? Expose yourself more to other cultures, because this is where you learn. Today, I have been exposed 20 years ago when I used to be in university to the Asian culture, Chinese, Indian, Pakistani, to the other Arab culture, the Levant. So I've learned a lot. I've learned about their food. I've learned about some religions that I wasn't exposed to when I was in Bahrain. So look at networking at a much bigger picture, because the more you're exposed, the more you're meeting people, the more you're confident. When you sit with other people, you'll be able to actually have a conversation confidently because you've been surrounded by, I'd say, a lot of professions and a lot of knowledge. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah?
Hello, my name is Mohammed Akbari, and I wanted to ask what are some struggles that you have faced during your career and how you manage them?
Struggles and
Yes.
how I manage them?
Yes.
Oh my God, so many struggles. So my failures were way more than my success stories. I failed so many times that, and I'm a human end of the day, and at some point of time, I was close to giving up, but then I stand up again and I feel like, okay, I've done it in the past, I can do it again, and I take that failure as a learning path for myself. Now, the struggles, which I don't really see as a struggle, but I see as a self-challenge for myself, is in my industry, we don't focus on a certain sector. So we could be looking at the healthcare sector today and oil and gas tomorrow, or heavy equipment and then education. So again, I wouldn't call it a struggle, I'll call it a challenge or a learning curve. Because every time I'm exposed to a sector, I have to go through the full learning curve and understand how that sector is operated and how that sector is managed. So it becomes a bit difficult when you're jumping around from one sector to another, but after being in this sort of environment, you realize that, oh wow, I've learned so much and I know so much. And end of the day, the fundamentals of every sector are the same. It's just the operation aspect that differs. So I wouldn't call it a struggle. I'd call it more of a challenge that you have to be up for.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Noor, and I'm in grade 9. And since me and my friends watch Bond, we were wondering, how do you handle so many different investments and partnerships at once?
That's an excellent question, by the way. So first of all, Biban is a show that I highly have respect for because it's an initiative that supports the ecosystem. Although our internal policies or mandates are not to focus on startups, but to focus on operating companies that are close to profitability or profitable. Investing in startups is not easy, to be honest, because there's a lot of hand-holding that you need to do with the founders. Now, some of the skills that I mentioned earlier that I require to see in a founder are the skills that I continue to look at a startup level or at a later stage level as well. It's not easy, it's very challenging. So far, JEO has invested in 5 companies on Biban, and it's utilizing a lot of our time. I think it's important for all of you to understand that the work that we have to put in for a $10,000 company or a $100 million company is exactly the same. So there's a lot of hand-holding required, and it's not easy if that answers your question. ليش مستحين؟
Yalla, we have room for one more question.
Hi, I'm Lemia. I'm from grade 9, and my question is, do you support people to be entrepreneurs at a young age, or should they get work experience first?
I love your question. I do support people to be entrepreneurs, 100%. In fact, I think everyone that's sitting here is an entrepreneur themselves. The fact that you are, first of all, in this hall today listening to experiences that just shows the interest that you have, unless you're forced to be here, okay? I definitely encourage people to be entrepreneurs, and having experience, you're talking in the sense of work experience. It's important to have work experience. So one of the things that really helped me in my career is that when I graduated from university, I did not pursue my master's until 8-9 years later. So gaining the experience between my bachelor's and master's just completely changed my perception of leadership, my perception of entrepreneurship. So this is the sort of experience that helps you. By the time you reach to your master degree, this is the time where you no longer are going to use your theories. Now what you're going to do is be extremely practical, because you have the experience of work and you use your knowledge to solve situations. So yes, be an entrepreneur.
We'll take one more.
I wanted to ask,
Your
do you
name,
believe in the
please?
Matrix? Ahmed Noah.
No.
Do you believe in the Matrix?
Sorry?
Do you believe in a Matrix?
It depends. What sort of matrix? The movie?
No, there is
Because I've never watched
I
it.
also understood the movie. Can you shed some more light, please, on what
like
matrix
there is
are
a
you-
higher power that we don't know about that is taking
Like the authority matrix, you mean?
yeah taking advantage of
I do
the
believe in
human-
it, of course. I believe there always should be an authority matrix because it serves governance. And governance is important in any company or any, I'd say, period of life. So yes, I do believe in authority matrix, if that's what you meant.
Yeah, I meant that there is an upper class we don't know about, not the government.
There's what?
Upper class, upper than the government. Yeah. We don't know about it.
مو قاعدة أسمع. Upper class?
Upper power, upper power.
An upper power that we don't know about? صراحة, I cannot answer that question. I don't know how to answer it, so I'll be honest with you.
I think we're done with the questions for this session. And maybe we can save the questions for another session. Join us next year, inshallah, for further questions.
حرام
Guys,
ما بيكونوا هني next year. 9th graders يمكن.
9th graders بيكونوا موجودين. هم اللي عندهم أسئلة بعد.
Okay. ما علي خلنا ناخذ one
يلا
more
ناخذ
حاطة يدها.
يلا go ahead.
Do you think attending Bahrain Beyond School was one of your reasons to your success?
100%. 100%.
Very nice.
I completely
See,
I
the question
completely
was
agree with
definitely
that.
worth it.
Yes, yes, it was indeed. I completely agree with that. I would like to express my immense pleasure in being part of this forum. I would also like to thank the counseling department for this opportunity for everyone and our dear students for such great questions. I would like to take, please, Mr. Midhat Marabi, our Director of عفوا أستاذ مجدي الحاج. He would like to present with Ms. Layal Butros. They would like to present a small token of appreciation. So if you would like to accept it on behalf of Bahrain Beyond School.